Welcome back again to another of our meditations. We all desperately want peace. That is why shalom is such an oft repeated word. For even as a simple greeting, it embodies deep yearning and solemn promise. So, the ancient sage Hillel insisted that it not enough to simply want peace, to hope for peace, even to pray for peace. He taught us to love peace and actively pursue peace. And our starting quote today is from Wayne Dosick. And it's sort of counterintuitive, I think, to how we normally consider peace. Peace gives the impression of an impassive, passive, mild. And instead, this quote is encouraging us to think of pursuing peace actively. It takes it from being something that we would just simply wish for or hope for, and in turn encourages us to look at it as something we need to actively engage in, to look for, to seek. The hymn that we have for today focuses on action verbs. It's a list of things that we may find, and in turn, how we can respond to them. And it's probably a fairly familiar hymn to most of us. And so let's get right into it. Let's take a moment or two, settle into the place where we are, even if it's a different place than we were yesterday, or will be a different place than we will be tomorrow. Where we are right here and right now. Let's just think about it as we take our deep breaths. Imagine our feet connecting to the ground below us. Our soul feels like it's being lifted up. Lord, make us servants of your peace. Where there is hate, may we sow love. Where there is hurt, may we forgive. Where there is strife, may we make one. Where all is doubt, may we sow faith. Where all is gloom, may we sow hope. Where all is night, may we sow light. Where all is tears, may we sow joy. Jesus, our Lord, may we not seek to be consoled, but to console, nor look to understanding hearts, but look to hearts to understand. May we not look for love's return, but seek to love unselfishly. For in our giving, we receive, and in forgiving, are forgiven. Dying, we live and are reborn. Through death's dark night to endless day. Lord, make us servants of your peace, to wake at last in heaven's light. Probably one of the saints who is most closely associated with peace is Saint Francis of Assisi. And Saint Francis was an incredible example of how to lead a peaceful existence. Coming from a wealthy family, he decided to give away all of his inheritance and simply live a simple, humble lifestyle. He's often depicted as being surrounded by animals, communing with nature, and connecting with all of God's creatures. The Order of St. Francis, which are also known as the Franciscans, was created by him. And they vowed to live lives of poverty, chastity, and obedience. In 1219, Francis went to Egypt in an attempt to convert the Sultan of the time, Al-Kamil, and hopefully in return also put an end to the conflict of the Fifth Crusade. The Sultan had succeeded his father as Sultan of Egypt in 1218 and was, at the time that Francis got there, encamped upstream. A bloody and futile attack on the city, Damietta, was launched by the Christians on August 29th of 1219, following which both sides finally agreed to a 4-week ceasefire. It's likely that it was during this particular interlude that Francis and his companion crossed the Muslims' line and were brought before the Sultan and remained in his camp for several days. Reports give no information about what transpired during the encounter, beyond noting that the Sultan received Francis graciously and that Francis preached to the Muslims. He did return unharmed, risking his own life in order to help others and to help create a conversation between two fighting sides. Speaks to Francis's lifelong desire to work toward peace. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. And so as we ponder peace, I, of course, have a few questions that have kind of come to mind for me. First of them comes from that quote that we heard at the very beginning of our meditation. What can we do to actively pursue peace? Secondly, have you ever encountered people, I'm sure you probably have, but people who have a long-term anger toward another person or a group of people? I hope we're all nodding together. How do we help to diffuse the division between two people or two groups that have determined to live in that anger? And finally, there are several suggestions of steps to go through in order to encourage civil discourse between two sides. The first suggestion is always to learn to respect the other side. How do you think respecting another person's experiences could help to lead to peace? So I will leave you to contemplate peace and how we can go about actively pursuing it until we get together again tomorrow. So be sure to take care, and God bless.